Hi guys, this is David Jelks from Factor 3 Fitness, and I just wanted to take a few moments to give you some perspective on our perception on what's possible for us. Now, it's a lot of people will, they look at me and they say, well, it's easy for you because you're a trainer, you've been a trainer for years, it must be genetics, you can afford good nutrition. But I tell you, there wasn't so many years ago that life was quite a bit of a different story. See, I started smoking tobacco when I was 13 years old. I grew up in a pretty haywire environment, so I started smoking a lot of things when I was 13 years old. And there was a pretty rocky path that I had to travel, and I didn't come out of the clouds, so to speak, until I was about 28 years old. So, I had a really bad lifestyle for a long time. And I remember the first year I started running. I was running with my brother. And the first year I did cardio at some point. I did run, and my lungs felt like they were going to explode. It was the most painful thing I think I've ever experienced. But I was, but I thought to myself, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna wake up feeling like hell, and my lungs full of that tar and nicotine, and just that disgusting feeling, clothes reeking. I had it. And you reach this crucible, this point in time where, enough is enough. Because the years are going to pile on, the years are going to go by quickly, much faster than we like to imagine. And this is the only thing we got. Michael Klaus had said this so well. He said, if you ruin this thing here, where are you going to live? And we're given this remarkable machine, this wonderful, remarkable machine that really should give us an amazing quality of life and allow us to enjoy life physically. Through our senses, through our physicality. But the problem is our environment around us is not set up to really make us healthy and strong anymore. So a lot of us are really quite challenged in our lives where, we're overweight and we're uncomfortable and we're tired, we have aches and pains, and we feel like it's kind of the end of the road. But I assure you it's not. It's, the reason for my persistence in training, the reason for my persistence in staying in the fitness industry and for studying and researching, pulling things apart, read down to the smallest level of understanding, really had a lot more to do with my empathy for the average person. Because this environment out here, this world we live in, is not set up for you to win. We don't have physical labor that really makes us strong anymore, makes our bones and muscles strong, keeps our organs functioning. We don't have clean air we can breathe in, to nourish ourselves. We don't have clean food and healthy food anymore to nourish our body. We have these stressors that are coming at us a million miles an hour. We have so many things that are distracting, so many things pulling at us. Our stress levels are at all-time high, and our body and our health is at an all-time low. So when is it going to stop? When do you take a stand? When do you kind of return back to fitness? When do you return back to this place where you can look in the mirror and say, yes, I love this thing I live in. It's incredible. But there is a science to making this thing run. There is a science to nutrition. There is a science to exercise. There's a science to our psychology. There's a science to all of it. And the fitness industry, unfortunately, has been selling us bits and pieces of ideas and random fragments of information and pseudoscience and half-truths for so many generations that it's left the public kind of a bit jilted and jaded. So we do more programs, we do more diets because we just can't give up, but we don't believe we're actually ever going to succeed. Right? Are you there? Have you been there? So my challenge to you is that if not now, when? We have the accumulation of 40 to 50 years of experience between myself and my colleagues that will be working with all of you on the Factor 3 Fitness program. The science of isogenics nutrition, the science of physiology, exercise science, biomechanics. We're going to go back and rewire your nervous system. We're going to rewire your metabolism through nutritional programming. And we're going to rewire your mind by showing you what you already know, that you can do this. We're just going to give you some tracks to run on. We're going to give you the tools and the support to go from point A to point B, and there's just no mistakes anymore. This is a science. You just can't show up and put in hard work. I'll give you a quick example. You have laborers, you have contractors, and you have architects, right? They're all three very important in the production of buildings, right? Of course, in communities. But if I give a laborer blueprints, will he be able to follow them? Probably not. The architect doesn't communicate with the laborer. What does the laborer do all day? Well, I mean, you know, I did manual labor for years. He goes in and he moves stuff around. Does he really know what he's doing? Not at all. He picks it up and puts it down, picks it up and puts it down, digs a hole, fills a hole, lifts this, pushes this. At the end of the day, 8 hours, 10 hours of hard work, physically sore, exhausted, tired, a little bit stronger, but none the wiser for all his efforts. I don't want you to go into the gym anymore and labor hoping this stuff works. Right? What I want to see happen is that you become the contractor, you become the tradesman, where you go in there and you have a set of tools. And yes, you're going to work hard, but you have a very specific objective. You know how you're given all these tools, you've learned how to use the tools, you have very specific tools for an end goal to create this architectural design that we call the human body. And then you go through and you put these tools to work, and you work hard, but it's more surgical and precise rather than just moving stuff around like a laborer. So stop laboring with your fitness and become more intelligent, become more educated in this process. And that's what the 90 days is what we're going to do for you. So if you like working hard, but you're tired of working aimlessly, then please, please click on the link and join us in September 1st for the Factor 3 90-day program. It would be the best decision you've ever made. We want to educate you. We want to support you and move you along and prove a point that science always works. I am 50 years old. I am in better shape than I ever have been in my entire life. I was born July 8th, 1965. At 50 years of age, I don't mind being 50 years of age, honestly. And 55 doesn't scare me. If I run this thing properly and I look after it, the accumulation of years do not bother me because I'm healthy and I'm strong and I'm vital. And you can have that too. But again, there's a science to it. So click on the link, join us for the 90-day program, and I am more than willing to share all my years of experience with you and show you what you are capable of.